Okay, so just a recap of what we did yesterday, where we had that apple in half thingy. So first and foremost, of course, you have a new file like this, right? You know what? We have a new file, new canvas like this. I just took the default sizing option. Then I just open the files that will be necessary for me to complete this work, which is the red apple and the green apple. Right. So GIMP might be asking us questions such as, do you want to convert to RGB working space and so on. Let's not worry too much about that. So I'm just gonna say convert, right? Then I'm just gonna take these two images, and now I'm set. So if you don't have those images yet, what you can do is you can get it from here, from the Padlet, right? If you do have the images already, which I do, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead and edit this, right? So first and foremost, I'm gonna select this apple from here. Oopsie. Okay. I shouldn't expand from center, and I won't have it as fixed aspect ratio. Alright, so now I won't be having like a perfect circle, but that's fine. So I can adjust it as need be. Alright, now as I said yesterday, different designing needs will require you to maybe use different kinds of skills, but for this particular exercise, I know for a fact that we don't really need the apple to be perfectly the way apples should be, which is a very imperfect shape, right? Whereas, so I'm just going to use the ellipse tool. So the ellipse tool is a bit too perfect for the apple because it's just too smooth, right? But it doesn't really matter. But sometimes if you're, let's say for example, you're editing a bear or someone with long hair or something where each strand of hair is important, then the ellipse or the rectangle might not be the most perfect tool to use. Right? But for this, it seems adequate. So once I'm done with that, once I'm done selecting the part of the apple that I want, I'm just going to use Control C, which is copy. Right? Then I'm just going to use Control V, which is for pasting. So I pasted it here. Now, if you go to the bottom right hand corner, you see Layers, Channels, Path. I'm just going to click on Layers. And once I click on that, you will see that there is floating selection, pasted layer, and then background. If I just clicked on anywhere on my canvas, what happens is that now my background contains the apple. And this is not what I want. What I want is for the apple to be on a different layer. So what I do is I just push Shift Control N, and there I have it. My apple is on a different layer. It's called the pasted layer. It can be a good practice to edit layer attributes and rename it the way you understand what the layer is about. For example, for this case, I might want to rename it as red apple or something. Okay, right. So now I have the red apple, and I can repeat the same for the green apple. I'm just gonna select the green apple, which is considerably larger than the red. Again, it's not a perfect oval or perfect circle, but it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to disregard some of its imperfection, right? And then again, Control C, and back to the main canvas, and Control V. Oopsie. And as you can see, because previously what happened is that we are focusing on the red apple, which is here, and it's just a small portion of the canvas. So when we pasted the green apple, only that part is showing, but you don't have to worry too much. What you can do is you can just again create a new layer, Shift Control N, right? Then the green apple will then have a layer of its own. Again, we can just right click and edit layer attribute and name it green apple this time. Okay, right? So now we have different layers, and we can use this move tool to move the layers around. Alright, so as you can see here, the red apple is considerably smaller than the green apple. It can be quite annoying to edit something which is behind something else like this. So if you want to, you can also edit the arrangement of the layer, meaning I can do something like this, right? And then I have the red apple on top of the green, so that I can do something like this and then scale it up. So we're going to use the scale tool here. This one is the scale tool. I'm just going to click on that. Then I'll be able to scale the red apple up to the almost the size of the green apple, approximate size of the green apple. And once I'm satisfied, I can just say scale. Alright, so both are pretty much the same shape now, the same size, sorry, right? Then it's just a matter of halving them, right? So there's few ways of halving them. You can, for example, use this, select the part that you want or you don't want. I'm selecting the part that I don't want, and then I just press delete, and then I'll do the same for the green apple. Now here, as you can see, my active selection is here. So if I try and do something with the green apple, let's say I try to move it, it won't really move. Oh, sorry, it does move, sorry. I thought only this part would move, but never mind. Okay, so now we know how to enlarge and then select and then delete parts of an apple or parts of the image that you don't want, right? Next up is rotating it. You can go to rotate tool and then just rotate it the way you want it. Let's say I rotate it like this, so it's 57. Maybe you want to go with a number which is rounded like that, rotate. Because once it is 56, then you know that this should be the other way around, like 180 minus 56 or something. Or you can do something like this. You can have the red apple on top of the green apple like this, right? Then go back to the green apple layer and then use this tool, path tool. Right? Then just select that. So that's the part of the green apple that I'm gonna go ahead and throw away. So I just go to path, right click, and path to selection, and then I just press delete. So now that part of the green apple is gone, and I would then already have these two halves of the apple. Then I can just combine them the way I want, for example like this, right? So slightly different from what we have in terms of the sample inside the pattern, but it's fine, meaning we are achieving pretty much the same thing, half red, half green apple.